What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 64. 64 of the Dadbod Golf Pod, a proud member of the Believe Podcast Network, the #1 podcast network for professionals. I'm Kyle. This is Nate and Ben, and we are ready to rock and roll on a Tuesday. How's it going, fellas?
Good, man.
Let's get it going. Don't have a J.R. Smith jersey, but I've got an Ian Shumpert jersey, which is going to be as close as any of us get tonight.
Basically the same
Fellas.
thing.
Yes.
They're the same. They're the same person to me.
That's
Yes.
That's a miss though, Nate, because we can't see the number. You could have totally gone with J.R. Smith.
Yeah, you could have.
But you know what? But I want to be real. It's a gentleman's game that we play, and I want to.
Oh boy, here we
you
go
know,
with this. Goodness gracious!
I want to. I put everything out, and I. Put
I'll remind you
everything
that
down.
next scramble that you're ahead of us in the group in front of us. I'll remind you of that. Gentleman's game.
Whatever.
It's a scramble, Benjamin, that goes against everything that golf is about. Anyway.
Anyway.
He's upset.
So we teased about this a little bit yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little photograph, fellas, circulating the interwebs.
Oh man,
That
there've
got
been more today.
They got some people stirred up, and then a little video, a little undercover video, got released today of the big cat. We had Charlie is apparently playing in a tournament, and Big Cat is there to watch. And there's a picture of him standing on the range behind Charlie. And today there was a video of him walking unassisted by anything. Deep breaths. And I need to know how you feel about this, fellas, because I feel things.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
You feel things? Where?
Yeah, where
Don't answer
is
that.
yeah.
I
Do
can
we
feel
wanna
it
know?
in my plums. Little shout out to Eastbound and Down. No, I'm excited. It makes me excited. I need to know how to feel about this. Nate, tell me how I need to feel about these pictures, these videos. Like, what do I need to feel right now?
So you got to think step one. Here we go. We are literally baby steps in every sense of the word. This has to happen before we see chips, before we see wedge shots, before we see full swings, before we see the 2023 Masters. Sorry, excuse me, I just slipped out a little bit. So, I mean, this is that we had to have this, and everything falls into place from here.
It did, Ben.
The
how
difference
often-
between the two was yesterday he was like with Charlie and leaning on his clubs. And so it was just a still picture. And you're like, okay, are his crutches laying down somewhere over there?
Yeah.
But the video today is when my plums got to rattling when there was no crutches.
Rattling plums.
Speaking of plums rattling, do you have like an ad read that you could do right now?
There were no crutches, and he was walking with the shaky camera with the poor photographer that was trying to keep up.
Yep.
And so it was a very shaky video, and I'm sitting there going, oh, it's happening. It's happening. Please take a full swing right now. Even though you don't have clubs in your hand, please take a full swing right now.
Guys, I don't think we're very far from that random, like Wednesday at 2:17 in the afternoon Instagram or Twitter video that goes out that shows him hitting a full wedge. I don't think we're far from that. You know, that's what happened last time. This random video went out of him hitting driver, and everybody got super excited. We may not be that far away. We may not be that far. I didn't
remember
think
the last time though when it came out too that he was taking those full shots on the range, and people were like, "Hey, bro, settle down. What are you doing?" Like he was swinging harder than he's ever swung before.
I mean, we're like less than a year from one of the worst leg injuries that you can possibly have, and he is walking on his own without any sort of aid.
He's got his sleeve. He does look cool too, by the way, when he's wearing his shorts.
Yeah.
He looks very
Can
cool.
he? I mean, what is there anything that he could wear to make him look not cool?
I did not like the
pulled off
baggy,
the overly baggy
No,
clothes in
I did not like
1999. Yeah, he still looks good.
Then he did. Then it was.
Then
like,
he did. Then he did because that was like a fashion thing. But the thing that because everybody started dressing like him, but with the baggy shorts that he had on for the match the first time, that people were literally Charles Barkley was even making fun of him. He was like, "What are you
Ben,
doing?"
you went and
man?
bought some.
Yeah. No, I didn't buy any of those.
You did.
Not
You
those
bought
Pretty
kinds.
much did.
You bought
No.
the zipper cargos.
I bought the zipper. I didn't buy the baggy ones, and they came in the choice of the baggies, and I was like, Tiger, what have you done to America?
I got like 3 different colors of Tommy Copper sleeves coming. I'm going to wear them right now.
But there's nobody that can come close to looking as good as he did in the baggy cargo shorts. I mean, no, he wasn't a 10. He was an 8, but everybody else would be a 4.
Hard 8.
Only time he didn't look good.
Firing in.
Only time he didn't look good was in his mugshot video, and that still got printed on shirts, and people wore them, and he still looked good once it got printed on shirts.
Now, I will say he needs to be wearing a hat. He's got to the point where he needs to wear a hat.
He needs to shave it. It's gotten to that point.
No, that we don't need bald.
He looks regal. He's we don't need that yet. I don't need to.
No,
I don't need to see
Tiger yet.
I can't deal with that yet.
What about Phil bald? Y'all just think about that for a second. Maybe think that before you go to sleep tonight.
There's no. He's gonna. It doesn't matter what it costs for him to take Hims or whatever it takes for him to be using. He ain't going bald.
You know what else?
What else? Speaking of bald men,
no. You know what else may keep you? You know what else may keep you up at night? Not being able to gamble on sports, not having a good place to gamble on sports. And we have the best place for that, and that is betonline.ag.
I don't know if that's the best way to frame that.
Head to the website or use your mobile device, sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. You give them $100, they're going to give you 50 back free to play with. Just use your promo code BLEAV to receive your bonus. Football, basketball,
golf, plums, playing with
boxing, golf. They got casino games. They're fun but dangerous. Be careful, but have fun. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers for the rest of the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Let's go.
BetOnline.ag.
Almost got it. BetOnline.ag, not com. AG. Nate, since we got like a little bit of taste, Tiger could be on the prowl back. Let's do some quick fire questions.
Oh boy.
Kind of all centered around Big Cat and just kind of see where it takes.
Go to our list guy.
Were you looking for something in the area of top 3 unanswerable Tiger questions?
Yes, top 3 unanswerable.
Top 3 unanswerable Tiger questions. Okay.
Top 3 unanswerable Tiger questions.
Yes.
Number 1 unanswerable question related to Big Cat Eldrick Tiger Woods.
No.
Obviously, it's a super long shot that he ever beats Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 majors. Will anybody ever beat Tiger's record of 15? Benjamin Taylor, microphone is hot.
No, absolutely not. Not going to happen. Of course, I say that, and then you got some of the young guys that already have a couple right now, but I just don't see them sustaining that for that many years. And it's the what ifs and what could have been, but then again, the ones that he was able to steal and just walk away with ease. But no, I do not think anybody comes close. The only one that everybody talked about at first, and that's why they're kind of settling down on the whole Morikawa thing, is when Spieth first came out and he won a few majors to start off with in his first couple of years. Everybody's like, Tiger 2.0, it's coming back. He's gonna make a run at Tiger. And then you saw what happened there. And it was like, no, that's a little bit harder than what you give Tiger credit for. I mean, even pros have said it. That 5 to 6 year stint in the late 90s, early 2000s, he was untouchable. Like he just, everybody that showed up for a tournament, they've admitted, we came to see who finished second. We know who's going to finish first. Okay. There's not a player on tour like that right now. So that's why I say that they're not going to catch him in the majors, because we look at the discussions we've had just as we've been doing the Dadbod Golf Pod, is when it gets major time, we're like, who has a chance to win? That conversation was not had when he was playing in his prime.
Gotcha. Kyle?
I'm going to say no, but if anybody has a chance, it'd be Colin Morikawa. That's it.
I'm going to go hard no on this. All you got to do is look at the list of winners. Phil Mickelson has 6, and he's basically at the end of his career. Are they still technically active? There's too many Morikawas. There's too many Brookses. There's too many Spieths. There's too many JTs. All those guys are fighting for, like you said, you got 15 guys that show up that got a daggum good chance of winning a major. There used to be one guy, and then 2 guys that maybe had a chance to pull up a crazy upset.
Exactly.
So no chance. Bonus question. Well, we'll kind of wrap this into the next one. All right, let's see. Next question. Oh, I lost my list. Hold on. Filler.
What are we doing?
I had to go to a different list. And
Oh, I got you.
all right, here we go. So, is there an athlete in any sport in history that has had more missed potential than Tiger Woods, despite the fact that Tiger Woods ruled golf for years? Man, is there anybody that's missed out on more than he has since the 6-iron in the back of the windshield injury, et cetera, et cetera? Tiger Woods has a perfect career with no injuries or scandals. Did he miss out on the most?
Just the way he swung, though, I don't think he goes through his career without injury. I mean, that knee, I think he was bound to determine the way he landed on it, the way he twisted it, and the way he, quote unquote, says he has zero cartilage in it now. I think that was going to sideline him at some point anyway, regardless of his off the course problems with his wife and his addictions and his, painkiller stuff and all that stuff that went along with it. So, but with you saying that most missed potential, you got to think, yeah, because even before he was good, he was getting sponsor exemptions, and then he'd get out there and he'd show people what he could do, even with a sponsor exemption at the age of 19, 20 years old. And then it just got better from there.
Right.
And so, yeah, I do think there's missed potential because the injuries are going to happen to all of them. We talked about Freddie with his back. You got Phil he's got that arthritic problem that he has. They're all, y'all all know. I mean, you've seen my golf swing. The golf swing is not a natural movement that's going to keep somebody from getting hurt at some point in time.
Right.
Even if it's and I know we made fun of it, but Brooks hitting down on and catching a root, not knowing it, and hurting her wrist that sidelines him for another 2 or 3 tournaments, or DJ falling down the friggin' stairs at the Masters and has to pull out of the Masters and then misses a couple of tournaments after that.
Throwback.
Yeah. So, I mean, the injuries are going to happen, but the other stuff can be controlled. And that's where he screwed up. And I think that's where the missed potential is. And is it the biggest missed potential? Yeah, because when he went out, when Elin stuck that 6-iron through the glass as he was heading after she read those text messages,
he just won the Masters. He won the Masters like the year prior, or the US
he was
Open
on
the year
top
prior.
of his game.
Yeah,
like
he just won in Australia. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he was playing well, and then that happens at Thanksgiving, going into the next season, where he probably would have won 2 majors the next season if that's not the case. And I know that's a big if, because everybody goes, yeah, but it's a major. I'm like, yeah, but if you remember how Tiger was playing, like
he was good.
He was going to be top 5 in all 4 of those majors, if not win 2 of the 4 of them. And so, yeah, missed potential. There you go. There's 2 right there off of something that was not injury related, and it was completely personal related from him not taking care of himself off the field. Or
Al, what do you think?
The only person I think close, and it's a completely different deal, is Barry Sanders, because I feel like he was probably he's one of the best athletes that are best running backs ever that played on a terrible team and never got a chance and retired early. Had he had more opportunities, been with a better team. That's the only thing I can even think of close that was somebody that had as much talent in their field as Tiger, but there was issues out. Tiger could control some of them. There were issues outside of Barry Sanders' control to reach his full potential. That's the only thing I can even think even come close.
And again, like you just said, that's not necessarily his fault. He was on a crappy team that they didn't ever help him out and surround him with anything good. Tiger, in 2 of the major instances that sidelined him, one of which was his wife, the other was when he got hooked on pain meds after the surgery and just couldn't get himself together and went to rehab and everything.
I would say, he had the issue at the US Open. The last major he won before the Masters, I mean, he was limping around. He could barely walk. They was helping him out of the bunker, et cetera, et cetera. But I would say Jack's record gets beat if Tiger has that knee surgery after the US Open, comes back relatively healthy. I know he can't play a full schedule, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I'd say that is, even though as good as he got, there was so much that he missed out on.
There have been professional golfers that have said he easily, if he takes care of himself off the course, because as I said, you can't talk about, I mean, the injuries that happen on the course, that's going to happen, all of them, but off the course, he easily has over 20 majors. Sure. Like they have said that, like by now he has 20.
All right. So the last question, this is kind of not really a two-parter, but we're getting to a point. We have all these guys that said the Justin Thomases of the world, the Colin Morikawa. Hey, I grew up watching Tiger. Well, the guys that are in high school and college right now did not grow up watching Tiger.
Right. So, the guys that are on tour now didn't.
What is his? Yeah. What is his legacy? And kind of second part, his biggest impact on the game now that he's out of the game for the most part. I mean, these guys that are coming in now are not sitting there every Sunday afternoon watching Tiger dominate. Kyle, lead us off with this last unanswerable question about Tiger.
I think the biggest thing, his biggest legacy is just to get back and play. The legacy is going to be the last major that he won at the Masters. And then, the rest of it's just going to be being the ambassador to the younger guys, even though they don't necessarily have the connection with him, watching him play, doing like having he has his own tournament that he hosts, but actually being the host instead of just playing, actually being the host, being the Jack Nicklaus, be standing there on the green, shaking hands when people get off, and just continue to be like sort of taking the torch from there with the game of golf and moving forward. But he's always going to have the highlights. He's always going to have, kids forever will be able to see that. So I'm not necessarily worried about people not knowing who Tiger is coming up, but yeah, take the torch and carry the game on.
Benjamin?
It goes a little bit along with what Kyle said, but instead of a coaching aspect, I think that his legacy will be carried out and people will still know who he is, not just because his name's Tiger Woods and he's going to hold all these name on every trophy that they ever play in that has ever been inscribed, but just the way you saw it when he came back this last time, the way other players worship him when he comes out. And so those new guys that are coming in the locker room are going to wonder why the JTs and the Koepkas and people of that generation, the Brysons, even Bryson has said it, like they're going to be like, those guys are wowed. Like they're wowed by a regular tour player. And because you're right. The kid right now that is in the 8th grade that is going to be, in the 2030 something Ryder Cup, like he knows who Tiger Woods is. He doesn't know who Tiger Woods is. Sure. He just knows him as a name. He doesn't understand him winning by 20 strokes at Pebble and like how awesome that was, that the guy was still trying to birdie 18 even though he was 20 strokes up. Like that, they're never going to know that Tiger, but they will know the respected Tiger that all the players that they grew up watching have for him. It's Jack-esque. It's you see when Jack steps up on the tee at Augusta, players coming out and watching him hit. And I think you're going to see that same thing when Tiger gets of age.
I bet Tiger never does the starter.
Everybody says he won't do the starter. Everybody says he won't play in the Champions Tour.
I think he'll do Champions Tour. I don't think he'll do the starter because I think it's basically saying I can't play anymore. I don't think he's going to do that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I think he's just going to go ahead.
But will he change his mind? Because he said for years he wouldn't do the Champions Tour.
I think he hasn't
done it yet. He probably will. I mean, he still may not.
Yeah. I think his biggest impact, honestly, goes back to when he first started, when, first of all, he made fitness become important in golf, and he made distance matter. Nobody cared how hard. I think probably the top 50 guys in the world all hit it the same distance in 1980. Like nobody was pounding the ball except for John Daly. He's pounding beers. But Tiger changed the way the game was played.
Nobody hit it 300 yards then, Nate. That was the thing.
And nobody wanted to. That was not a strength. Nobody had that advantage. Nobody wanted that advantage.
Like Tiger and Daly were the only two that could do that. And so
fist pumping. He made fist pumping a thing.
Yeah. He made club twirls a thing.
The boom, the swag, golf swag, golf style, golf fashion.
Well, just the birdie celebration. I mean, I know you say fist pump, but I mean the lift.
Guys used to throw their hats in the air.
The lift in the iron, the
walking in and point at it like, yes, let's go. Give it to me. Yeah. Give it to me.
But I would say his legacy, and he'll relive his legacy through Charlie, because you're going to see him. He's going to be similar to his dad. Hopefully not as bad as his dad, because you already look into it. His dad is horrible. Sorry, no, you go ahead. On
There's
the prop
already
bet.
prop bets. There's already prop bets that you can bet if Charlie will win a major by the time he's 25.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
there's no doubt.
It's like not even that. I mean, it's not even like huge value. Like it's like 20-1 or something like that. It's not even.
But that's
super-
I think that
That's-
will be the best
that's
thing about it.
ridiculous. Are you
him
serious?
staying
Like-
around the game is. I
Gotta
know,
have
hopefully,
the-
and Charlie's 10 or 12 years old. Charlie may burn out. Is immense pressure,
Yeah, big time.
huge pressure. But anyway,
The only thing that Charlie has going for him, if Tiger is telling the truth, is Tiger hasn't forced him to do any of this.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to be quote unquote that guy, that dad
Yep.
that forced him to do it. And but I'm like, Nate, you don't know if he's going to get in today's golf world. For these guys, they do get burnt out, man. I mean, they play tournament after tournament after tournament. So is Tiger going to keep him away from all those tournaments? Because right now he only plays in like 2 or 3 tournaments a year, and Tiger goes to them, so that's what makes it a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, does Tiger just keep it at that, or does he force him? So
well, he's protected right now. But,
Right.
But when he gets into college, Tiger will no longer be able to protect him from. Charlie doesn't understand the image. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I don't think Charlie realizes what his dad is. To him, it's just his dad. Like, oh, yeah.
no,
they talk
even
about what
Tiger
he used to do
said
before he
Tiger
was
said
born.
that none of them knew what he was until he
Won
won
the
in
match.
Atlanta, and
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah,
like,
there's
and
his
his
dad.
kids were sitting up there on like the crosswalk, and they were like, "This is weird. Like
crazy.
they're all here for him. What is this all about?"
Yeah.
So
Speaking of legacies, you want to leave a legacy, guy? Hey, Nate, do you want to leave a
Yeah.
legacy?
I would
Ben,
all
you-
day.
Yes,
you wanna
every
leave a
day.
legacy?
All in.
You want to
Yes.
leave a legacy of fashion? You need to go to Swannies.co. Check out Swannies.co. Coupon code DADBOD Golf Pod -25% off. Let's go.
A legacy of fashion. Get that tattooed on your body somewhere,
legacy
Kyle.
of
That's what I think
golf.
of when I think of you.
A legacy of
It's gotta
epic
be
golf
a butt
fashion.
cheek tattoo right there.
From
Legacy of
polos,
fashion.
pullovers, hoodies, joggers, shorts, hats. They got everything, guys. And you got 25% off of it all. As many times as you want to. Go to the sale category, pillage the sale category, and take.
Oh my
another
goodness, I don't know that
25%
we're
off.
supposed to say that.
Whatever. They haven't stopped us yet. So we're here for sales. We're trying to make sales. So check it out. Swannies.co. Leave a legacy of fashion. Hey guys, at Swannies, that should be your catchphrase. Leave a legacy of golf fashion. Swannies.co. Write it. Let's go. Next
Lock
topic.
and load.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey,
Next topic, Nate.
we got so fired up yesterday about talking about how bad our picks were. We didn't even talk about who actually won the damn tournament. And Sungjae Im, who I call Band-Aid ear, if you remember from the I call him Band-Aid from the President's Cup.
That was weird. That was strange.
His hat was rubbing his ear raw. The President's Cup hat they gave him was rubbing his ear raw. Wore a little Band-Aid on his ear. Threw darts all day. Everybody said this kid's the next big thing. He plays how many tournaments are in a year? 50.
He's played 98 tournaments since 2017.
He plays
most on
basically 40 to almost 50 tournaments a year. He
He's a
doesn't even have a
machine.
house. He just drives from like
No, he just bought a house.
he did. Okay, for like the
He's in
first
Atlanta.
year- for the first year, he didn't even have a house. He just went
No.
tournament to tournament. They said something like he's made like 250 more birdies than like the next person in like I mean it's crazy.
Yeah.
He's made an amazing amount of birdies. He goes wins by 5. This kid's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna step out and say this guy gets out of military service. Yeah, he is South Korean, right? I think
Yes, he was one of the
Yes.
ones that was on the. Yes, he was one of the ones.
Thank
Thanks for
goodness
that.
that was not a geographic
That's
question.
good. Yes, I'm glad that was a good hot take.
Did you know Atlanta's in Georgia?
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Atlanta's,
It's not-
Atlanta's in Georgia. It's not far from us.
just a little bit
So
up
Sungjae
I-85.
Im
Here's the
holds
thing: he was
holds
on
the-
59 watch on Sunday, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, he
holds the record for events played, rounds played, total birdies, under par rounds, and rounds of 67 or lower. He holds all those records on tour.
He's been on tour 2 years, barely 2 years.
That's amazing. He's a machine too.
He's an absolute stud. He's got, and they talk about like he literally can throw. He can throw the darts like nobody has ever seen. Like his iron play is absolutely unbelievable. If he can keep it on the golf course, you're dodging bullets because he's ready to start throwing some darts. He's fun to watch. Sungjae Im, I'm a big fan. If he's from Atlanta, we got to hook that up. We got to hook that up. We got to be pals. He's got a dad bod.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
Even
he does.
as young as he is, he's
He
already
clearly has chafing issues, even if it's on his ear. Sometimes Dadbods can have the same thing, especially in the July heat. So, he's our type of guy. Sungjae
What's
Im,
that official apology that we did not acknowledge
We did not.
whatsoever?
we
All we
did not-
acknowledged was guys who withdrew, and we forgot to acknowledge.
it got my re-listen. It did get mentioned.
I never said it.
I mentioned something about a playoff between Tyler Gooch
Yes,
and Sungjae Im, but I
Sungjae
didn't
Im.
reference it in
his
such a way
name
that
got
you would have known.
his name got mentioned.
Right alongside
bad.
Tyler Gooch, which is kind of a cool thing.
You know what,
It's pretty bad.
Mr.
He
M,
gooched it around better than Gooch did.
Mr. M, would you please accept our apology? And for that, would you please come on Dadbod Golf Pod and
Yeah,
visit with us?
Come on and let us apologize to you in person. We love you.
Get
Sungjae Im,
Tyler to come with you.
We had a. I love his swing, by the way.
yeah.
I
Buttery.
love that. We had a guy that played golf with us in college that swung like that, and he sprayed it all over the place. So the fact that he can actually work that out and make it look good, like this guy thought his swing was so perfect, and I look at my tempo. I'm like, yeah, well, your tempo just sent it 75 yards right. Thanks, for
And I
playing.
feel like you play with a lot of guys in college who spread it all over the place.
Well, it was feast or famine, man. We either played with like the scratch golfers or they were shooting it easy 115, 120. There was
Yeah.
there was
No
no
in
in between. If you play with a guy and he was like, yeah, shot 85, you're lying. You were so lying. You shot 120 and you took 15 mulligans. There's no chance you shot 85.
I think the only thing that Sungjae Im is missing in his game that could take him over the edge is a
Fashion.
SweetRollsGolf.com putter grip coupon code. He could use coupon code DADBOD20 and take 20% off the order, even though he could buy the whole store.
Yes.
He is a great golfer, but he could take even 2 to 3 strokes off his game if he just got a SweetRollsGolf.com putter grip. They have awesome printed putter grips. They feel good. They look good. You'll be the talk of the town, the talk of your dog fight.
Every town that you're in, 40
every
times
town
a
that
year,
you're in.
Sungjae Im.
Yes, Sungjae, you can turn heads in all 50 tournaments you play in this year. If you check out SweetRollsGolf.com, use coupon code DADBOD20. Moving on.
So we talk about.
Hold on. Let's stay
And
with Sungjae just for a little bit.
Are
you staying with Sungjae?
I interrupted Kyle Rush first.
Are you staying with Sungjae?
I'm staying with Sweet Rolls for just a second.
Okay.
Hit
Staying
it.
with Sweet Rolls. Okay.
Sungjae, you distracted me. Daggone. Oh, we were saying that it takes 2 to 3 strokes off your game, or else you suck. Sungjae Im
Yes.
clearly doesn't suck. Guaranteed to take 2 to 3 strokes off the game. There's just no
Bingo.
chance it doesn't. So,
No
anyways,
Bingo.
there you
Think
go.
about it, Sungjae.
Now you took that train of thought off of me. So now I've forgotten what I'm just
Yep.
kidding.
All right. Next
I'm
topic.
just kidding.
Yeah. All right. Next topic.
No, Kyle
Yeah.
has brought this up numerous times. Now that he has laid roots in Atlanta, is he defecting like Kevin Na did?
Nah, I don't think so. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having. He could.
Freudian slip.
Nah. I didn't even catch that. I mean, would it? I think it'd be a bigger news story, don't you?
Oh,
Well, I mean,
if
you
it
won't know
happens,
till
it
it gets
will
time for him to report. But the fact that now he's bought a house, it's like
They all have houses here.
be. I don't know. Has he bought a house, or is he just like living in a condo?
no, they
up
made a
in-
big. That's why I wonder
Near
because they made a
Georgia
big
Tech.
deal. They made a big deal out of it during the broadcast where they were like, he finally bought a house here, and even one of the announcers, I've forgotten which one it said. Maybe it was one of the on-course announcers. They said, "Yeah, does this lead to the fact that he may not show up for his military service?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a good point. I wonder
He
if he
sleeps
will."
in that house 13 nights a year.
Yeah. I don't think that. I think it's going to be a huge news story if that does happen.
It's gonna be better if one shows up and one doesn't.
Yeah.
One pulls a nod and the other one doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know if he's brought his family over yet or not, but anyway, Sungjae Im, big fans. Moving on to the last topic of the day, guys, there was an incredible, super publicized, awesome 81 that happened today.
Yes, it was
The most popular 81 in the history of golf.
But when you're listening, to this,
Most
happened
respected
yesterday.
81.
Happened yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most respected just yesterday. Respected 81 in the history of golf. J.R. Smith. We got the Cavs love down in the bottom. J.R.
Yes.
Smith plays his first collegiate round as a collegiate golfer. I just totally butchered that. First round as a collegiate golfer. How about that?
There we
Get
go.
Get
Lock
in
and load.
First collegiate
Atta
round
boy.
as a collegiate golfer
Oh my
from a
gosh.
male participant
Yeah, he shot 81, but
who's
he did
on the
have
men's
like,
team.
He did have like 2 or 3 birdies, I think, on the front 9. Just had I think he had a couple doubles.
He had a few
Uh,
darts that he
stuck
threw.
one,
I
he
saw his
stuck one like a
highlights.
foot.
Awesome highlights.
Yeah.
Threw some
Swing is
darts in
buttery
there.
smooth.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a 3 from the corner. I mean, it is awesome.
Do we have? I mean, we somewhat graced across this topic, but
Yeah, we graced it.
any topics that anything you want to take away from that? How about he shows up in a Bentley?
Yeah. So I guess he just doesn't ride the team bus. I'd like to know the context of how he got there. Like he's not hanging out with the team. Did you see the joggers that he was wearing?
Not team issued.
Joggers were like 6 inches above his socks. I mean, it was an NBA warm-up outfit.
I was going to say it could have been team issued because they didn't have anybody that's ever been that tall that's been on the team. They actually may have been team issued.
Yeah, could have been. I love seeing a guy with a buttery smooth swing who has neck tattoos. Like that combination's never happened before in golf.
No.
And we needed it. We really did need it. And I hope this inspires. I hope we see some more sleeves on tour soon. That's
the
what
thing
I want.
that I liked about watching it, I think this solidified where people have thought that this was a gimmick, that he's serious. He was serious today. The look on his face was that you would see when he was in the NBA finals. Like he was focused, man. He
was having fun.
I know we talk about the Bentley and we talk about, you mentioned the joggers, we mentioned his fashion, but like even when he stuck it tight a couple of times, there was like no major celebration because he had already doubled before. So it was like, finally, I'm getting one back. I need to get up there. I need to make my putt and I need to move on to the next hole. Like he was as Kevin Kisner coined it. It ain't no hobby. No. It ain't no hobby.
Hey, Ryder Cup 2025, New York, J.R. Smith, what's up? Starts now. Starts here.
Yeah, starts right here.
I don't know
He's
about that.
Neck tattoo. Ian Poulter's last Ryder Cup ever gets beat by a dude with neck tattoos. You don't even get to show your face ever again. Go home, stay home, Poulter.
I do want to touch on something that you guys probably don't want to touch on about some of the internet reaction to it. And there were some people that did not like the fact that it's, as you said, the most highly touted 81 to grace the face of golf. And then they said that there's some other issues that should probably be covered along with this. Okay, let's not do apples to oranges here. When's the last time an HBCU got covered by the Golf Channel?
Seriously. This
is a whole nother level of growing the game of golf. Now,
yes, exactly.
I'm not going to sit here and say that, we need to hear about it 52 weeks out of the year. But
it was a big deal. It was it's Monday.
Deal.
It's Monday.
This guy retired from professional sports, from a sport that has nothing to do with golf. Yeah. Which, by the way, the greatest athlete ever also retired. He ain't playing college golf anymore, anywhere. No. And he's eligible to be on the senior tour or the Champions Tour.
I want J.R. Smith content all the time.
Yes.
I think it's good for the game. Like Nate said, he's joking about it. But hey, neck tattoos are not something you typically see on Sundays or on the weekends in golf tournaments. But this shows it's the game's for everybody.
And he's not screwing around. This is for real.
81 is not terrible for your first ever round in collegiate golf, carrying your clubs with cameras out there that you're probably not typically, you're used to playing basketball, but this is a whole different ball game. And
he had a couple of doubles. That's all he had.
First collegiate round. This is the first round he's had in organized golf. He hasn't played tournaments. He hasn't grown up like the rest of these kids have, playing in junior tournaments. We're talking about a guy that was playing an entirely different sport his entire life, never played an organized round. It was like, because he even said some of his buddies were kidding him about it. They were like, hey, you realize they're not going to give you that 5-footer. You actually have to
put it out. And he did it, and he shot. He ball in hole. His first round, he shot 81. Props, J.R. Smith, hanging there, keep growing the game. Love it. You know what's going to be phenomenal, Kyle? We read about it tomorrow, and he shot 75. 68. Yeah, probably not going to happen. But I mean, he may shoot 75 or 76. Let's get one of those on the card.
Yeah. You know what? J.R. Smith was not a B team Turkish league basketball player. He has national championship rings. He was one of the best in the game when he played. Yes, he deserves every single bit of recognition that he is getting today. I don't care if he shoots 81, 101, or 51.
Right.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Let me know every single day. I want to know how this tournament finishes out for sure. For sure.
Yep.
And
I want a
if
live feed.
one thing J.R. Smith needs to do, this could help him hone in on those things that are costing him strokes. He could look at arcosgolf.com, get set up with the sensor system, use coupon code DADBOD10. No, that's not a diabetes pump that Ben has in his hand. That is a Bluetooth belt clip that is going to link to the sensors in his club, and it's going to track all his distances every time he hits a shot. Every time he makes a putt, it's going to tell you how far the putt was. Every time he chips up, gets up and down, it's going to keep up with his up and down percentage. And he doesn't have to do anything but play golf. You screw them in the ends of your clubs. You link them to your app on your phone. You link the little Bluetooth clip, and then you just go play golf. And it helps you. Exactly. It helps you understand where you're losing strokes. Guys, that's the biggest thing. You can take your little pen and paper, make your little spreadsheet, try to keep up with it the best you can. This thing does it automatically. And then when you get done, it's going to give you the top 3 things that you need to work on and how to work on. How can you beat that? You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Check out arcosgolf.com, coupon code DADBOD10, take 10% off, get this thing going, get your game going, get your rounds in, and have fun. It's a ton of fun. I posted another one of my crazy holes yesterday that I had where I
saw that.
I fanned one into the woods. I
love how you keep showing the ones that you have to punch out. That's awesome.
Yeah, elite punch. I have an elite punch out game. You have a lot of practice. That's a shout out to Club Pro guy. Elite punch out game. But yeah, fanned in the woods, punched out, hit a wedge up there, made a 20-something foot putt with
22.
my Sweet Rolls grip. 22-foot putt with my Sweet Rolls grip. It was awesome. But yeah, check it out.
Congratulations.
Y'all have a lot of fun with it, like I'm having right now, and we're all having. And we're going to start shooting some. We need to start shooting some like promo videos or things like that.
Yep.
With it, so see more of how it works. But
hey, J.R. Smith, Arcos is so powerful and potent. You do want to double check with the NCAA. Make sure that is an eligible tool to use, because this is not a joke. This could shave strokes off your game. They may frown upon that.
You probably can't use it in round, but it can track all your stats while you play, and then you can analyze it after the fact. So
you could unscrew them and screw them.
Nah, just leave
them
back in.
Just always you leave them in. You just can't use them.
Just leave it in. Just leave them in. Absolutely. So this is episode 64.
DQ
of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. We have had a blast. Big Cat could be on the way back. Sungjae Im, we're big fans. J.R. Smith, keep it going.
81, what's up?
81, we're going to get better. There's definitely room for improvement, but he made birdies. That's the biggest thing. If you're making birdies, you can go low. Do it, JR. We're pulling for you. Y'all catch us on Wednesday. That's tomorrow for episode 65 for a Would You Rather Wednesday. And we have some fire.
Yes.
Absolute flamethrower questions.
They're already starting to lay down the rules. Nate's asking questions to Kyle and me, and the only reason he's asking them is because of me. It's not because he wants to know the answer. He just wants to make sure I know the answer.
Zero fun, sir, for you on Would You Rather Wednesday.
That's fine.
None of your little trickery magic hat crap.
No. No, just straight
says the guy
from
with
the
magic
dome.
Hat.
Straight from the dome. Let's go. Fellas, I enjoyed it. Y'all follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Subscribe to a YouTube channel. We're having fun with this YouTube. You got to see us. You got to see us to experience it. You got to see the disgust on our face when Ben tries to cheat tomorrow. You got to see.
Not cheat.
You got to see what they're trying to do to make me laugh when I'm trying to do an ad read. It's just classic. You can't get this.
We're just
anywhere.
Laughing. That's
you
all
can't
we're
get
doing.
This content anywhere else. Monday through Friday, the only daily golf podcast out there. Guys, had a blast.
Dog bod, dead dog.
Dad Bod Golf Pod.
No
Always broken.